Welcome to the Quirky World with Valerie Danko. In this episode, you'll discover mysterious legends, quirky places, and enchanting landscapes.
20 million years ago, when there was no animal nor human, most of southern Europe was covered in laurel forest. Only spirits of the woods inhabited this mysterious land. Today, in Fanal Forest, you can feel yourself like 20 million years ago, wild and untamed, but only Azores, Tenerife and Madeira preserved these type of trees. This is Madeira, Isle of woods, red soil and fairy tale waterfalls. It is closer to Africa than to Europe and was rediscovered by the command of the Prince Henry the Navigator. In 1433, the name Ilha de Madeira appears in maps for the first time and bears numerous legends. Local story tells about the ocean monsters that swallowed whole ships with their garrisons. While some sailors were eaten by dragon-like monsters, others were bewitched by gorgeous mermaids who led the sailors to death by their enchanting songs. According to a Greek legend, Madeira was created by a dragon. A Greek demigod Hercules was given 12 tasks by Hera, the main goddess, and the 11th of them was to steal apples from Hera's tree. So those apples were guarded by nymphs, but they were not quite well in performing that task. That's why Hera sent a dragon named Ladon to guard the tree. Unfortunately, Hercules wounded the dragon, and when Argonauts were passing by, they saw this dragon dying and crying, so they sent him to the sky for his services. Till today, you can still see the dragon on the starry, clear sky. And while crying, this dragon created Madeira Island out of his teardrops, and his blood drops made a dragon tree. Dracena dragon is an endemic plant of Madeira Island and Porto Santo, and the most valuable part of it is its sap. The moment sap comes into contact with air, it oxidizes and turns into a blood red color. Since the 15th century, it was used for furniture, fabrics, cosmetics, and even violins. Some people say that Stradivarius violins were so popular because they have Madeira's dragon tree sap in its varnish. At some point, sap became so popular that Madeira's dragon tree nearly disappeared from the island. To understand its commercial value, Titanic was carrying 76 boxes of Madeira sap before it sank down in 1912. The blood of this tree also had magical powers. Ladies who wanted to get married would write the name of their beloved on a piece of paper, then cover it with another piece of paper with their own name on it, and then they would sprinkle dragon's blood over it and throw it in the fire while saying a magical spell.
The most popular region in Madeira with a conic thatched roof from the dragon tree is Santana. Santana name derives from the old chapel in the 16th century, Santa Ana.
Rainy weather perfectly illustrates how sharply angled thatched roof allows water to run off the house, keeping the inside dry. Before farmers settled in the island, people were afraid to go here. It looked gloomy, mystical, and such weird sounds came from its wood that they imagined terrific giants guarding the island. The most popular monster story is hidden in this cave. Local folklore says that these large dug-out basalt caves are home of a monster called Caval. He is a horse-shaped devil with wings of a bat and fire coming out of his nostrils. On stormy days like today, he is particularly enraged to be imprisoned here. Let's check it out. Once upon a time, a child entered the cave through one of its entrances. It started the journey at Moinho de Serra, but got lost, and only a few hours later got out at Agua de Pena. Some people say this is the reason why the cave is called Furnas do Cavallum, or Devil's Cave, because only the devil won't get lost in its labyrinth. Today, you can find small cave animals like spiders and insects that are adapted to its dark surroundings and only appear in this cave. Whenever you think about the Christ statue, the one in Brazil comes to mind. But actually this one was consecrated 4 years earlier than the one in Rio, 1927, and the one in Rio only 1931. And the reason why is not so nice, unfortunately. So, up until the 1770s, when the non-Christian cemetery in Funchal was established, all the people who are not Christians were thrown from the cliffs right here. Don't worry, they were dead already, but still, it was a discrimination. So later on, this statue was established to remember those people who were not buried on the island. But the most horrible stories are about pirates who attacked the island and took local people into slavery. The cruelest story happened in 1617, when 18 Algerian ships came to Madeira and took 900 people into slavery. Only 18 men and 7 women survived because they hid in the caves on the hill and in grain stores called matamoros. The main purpose of those attacks was to sell Christians as slaves. Young men, women and children were an easy carrier of the propagation of faith. Some clergy even pushed the idea that it was possible to be a good Christian and a slave. How horrible is that? In the 19th century, tourism has flourished in Madeira, and Quintas in Monte were the most popular destination for tourists. Wealthy Europeans began to winter on the island, and many of them stayed here. Painting, writing and walking were the most popular pursuits of actors, authors and politicians who wintered on the island. Till today, it's the perfect place to spend a winter, not far from the mainland Europe. And swim in the waterfall if you're brave enough. Subscribe to be on track with our new episodes.